Ukrainian generals claim they've breached Russia's first line of defense in the south as Kiev counteroffensive appears to make breakthrough. Generals say Ukrainian troops are between the first and second defensive lines. General Oleksandr Tarnavsky, leading the southern counteroffensive, echoed the claims, alleging that Kiev's army has made an important breakthrough by breaching Russian lines near Zaporizhzhia. On Wednesday, Kiev said it had recaptured the village of Robotyne, calling it a strategic victory that would pave the way for its forces to push deeper into Russian positions towards Moscow and Crimea. "We are now between the first and second defensive lines," Tarnavsky, who led Ukrainian troops to liberate the southern city of Kherson, told the Guardian newspaper this weekend. It comes as Russian drones targeted Ukraine's southern Odessa region in the early hours of Sunday, with Moscow hitting a Danube port on the border with NATO member Romania in an attack condemned by Bucharest. Heavily mined territory had slowed Ukrainian troops, saying that sappers had cleaned a route by foot and at night. Tarnavsky has said that Kiev's forces are now back on vehicles and that Russia has redeployed troops to the area, according to the newspaper. But on Sunday, fighting was reported east of Robotyne, near the larger village of Verbove. BBC analysts allege troops face a mass of overlapping, complex Russian defensive lines, complete with minefields, tank traps, and trenches, some of which seemingly converge at Verbove. Small Ukrainian troops are understood to be clearing a way through the hazards in preparation for a larger assault. Fighting has been reported east of Robotyne, near the larger village of Verbove. It was reported on Sunday. Pictured, Ukrainian military members stand near missile that stuck from the road after Russian shelling in Kramatorsk. On Saturday, a pair of Ukrainian soldiers are seen hunkered down in a foxhole while picking off advancing Russian troops. Ukraine's forces have pushed deeper into Russian defensive lines in the country's south, Kiev said today, as footage emerged of intense close-quarters combat between the country's armed forces and the invading infantrymen. Plumes of smoke erupt as Ukrainian unit breach mine defenses as part of a southern counteroffensive near Huliatpol in Zaporizhzhia region, Ukraine, in this screen grab obtained from a handout video released on August 27, 2023. However, this approach is slow, and the approximately 700 to 1,200 yards of progress every 5 days made by Ukrainian troops was allowing Russian forces to reset. While Moscow's forces have suffered high rates of artillery and tank losses, RUSI said they had inflicted sufficient equipment losses on Ukraine in the early phases of its push to degrade the reach of Ukrainian maneuver. In short, Russia achieved tactical success in preventing a breakthrough. As Russian forces faced high attrition rates, they made adaptations such as increasing the depth of their minefields, dispersing electronic warfare (EW) systems, and being more precise in how they directed their firepower. Ukraine has said that its forces had made advances over the last week as its counteroffensive to retake Russian-occupied territory entered its fourth month. Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar said on Monday that Ukrainian troops had made gains near Klishchiivka, around 3 miles from the fiercely fought-over Donetsk Oblast town of Bakhmut. The Institute for the Study of War, ISDO, said on Sunday that Ukrainian forces had advanced near Bakhmut and in western Zaporizhzhia Oblast on Sunday, and that geolocated footage over the weekend showed Kiev-controlled Klishchiivka. Maliar said they had also advanced towards Novoprokopivka, south of Robotyne, the settlement in the Zaporizhzhia Oblast which Kyiv said it had recaptured last week. She reported that over the last week, Ukrainian forces had liberated around 1.15 square miles and 18 square miles in the area since the counteroffensive started around June 4. A member of the SPG-9 anti-tank recoilless gun crew near Bakhmut on August 14, 2023. Kyiv said on September 4, 2023, that its forces had made gains near the Donetsk town. The enemy is on the defensive in the Zaporizhzhia and Kherson directions, Malia wrote on Telegram, according to a translation, adding that Russian forces are shelling Ukrainian military and civilian targets in the Zaporizhzhia, Kherson, and Mykolaiv regions. The Deputy Minister of Defense also said that Ukrainian forces were continuing their push in the direction of Melitopol, which is part of the land bridge along the Sea of Azov to occupied Crimea. Russia had unsuccessfully tried to retake lost positions in the Donetsk and Luhansk oblasts, while in the south its forces were suffering significant losses in personnel, weapons, and equipment, redeploying its units and troops and using reserves. The ISDU think tank noted how Ukrainian Tavrius Group of Forces spokesperson Alexander Shchupin had said Ukrainian troops had achieved successes in the direction of Verbove, which Ukraine is reportedly targeting as its next goal. On Wednesday, Kyiv said it had recaptured the village of Robotyne, calling it a strategic victory that would pave the way for its forces to push deeper into Russian positions towards Moscow-annexed Crimea. Heavily mined territory had slowed Ukrainian troops, saying that sappers had cleaned a route by foot and at night. Tarnavsky has said that Kyiv's forces are now back on vehicles and that Russia has redeployed troops to the area, according to the newspaper.